that. Because for some reason, I feel like stuff shifts. There I am. There I am. Hello. How are you? Ugh. Ugh. Okay. So, tonight we are doing something that is interesting. We're going to try and take this slow tonight because we have to. We are talking about something that is interesting. How did I have this set up last week? Carol, you still there? Or did I lose you? So tonight we are talking about the Andean Altiplano. I don't want to get too much into this right now because I feel like if I get too far into it, then I am going to lose people. So I do want to take this a little bit slow tonight. And to do that, we are going to just enjoy the night. Hello, whoever just came in. I have two people in. I don't know who. But yeah, we are talking about. Are you seriously? I'm here. I'm talking. Try exiting and coming back in. Carol, I am on. Hi, predecessor. Am I okay? You can see me okay? Okay. predecessor, I have no idea who C5 is. Is there somebody I'm not seeing? Somebody I missed? Okay, so if I didn't say hi, hello everybody. Tonight, okay, tonight, guys, oh, I can't do it. So much stuff that I want to say that I can't say. So tonight we are talking about the Altiplano. I figured I'd have a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to probably need to back this up a little bit and talk about a bunch of other stuff along with this, just so that everybody understands what we're talking about. And yes, I might even have to draw. Not my favorite thing in the world, but we're going to try and do this. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Forget it. Forget it, forget it, forget it, forget it, forget it, forget it. Okay. Hold on. No, my drawing was not going the way I wanted it to. So, I will just have to talk you through it. Okay, so Peru is a country in South America, if you don't know. And yes, I'm going to pretend like nobody knows, because that's what I was told to do long time ago. So there's Peru and Bolivia, and the Altiplano sits way up in the Andes, and it is between Peru and Bolivia. So, of course, So basically, you have lake. I love this lake. I sort of. Up north, at the northern section of this area, you have Lake Titicaca. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. So way up here in the northwest corner is Lake Titicaca in southern Peru. The Altiplano is a plateau. And it is the second highest plateau in the world. Only the Tibetan plateau is bigger, or is more at a higher elevation. So basically, a plateau is an elevated flat landform that rises above the surrounding area. And it sits in southern Peru, as I've already said about 1,000 times, and it extends 600 miles to the south. So Altiplano, .600 miles south. But, and this is probably the coolest thing, is that it covers about 4,000 square miles. So it covers a lot of area. At its southern reaches, there are salt flats. Now, if you don't know what a salt flat is, if you've ever been to the Great Salt Lake, you'll know this. But if you don't, salt occurs in the ground. So when it rains, the salt gets into the water. So we're going to do this. And then we'll actually look up the actual definition. So you have salt. Okay, this is a little basin. Okay. Yes. And you'll get water. So you'll get a little bit of water, and it's very salty. So what happens is when the water evaporates, the salt doesn't go with it. The salt gets left behind. So salt gets into the water up here. Water evaporates, leaves behind salt. Whoa, are you guys okay? Didn't mean to hit the camera or the phone. No, Lake Titicaca itself is not This is further south, Carol. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, so I want to give you an exact definition. Okay? This is an exact definition of it. A salt flat, also known as a salt pan, is a flat area of land covered in salt and other minerals that forms when a large body of water dries up in a desert or arid climate. The salt flats are a result of evaporation from the water, which occurs when the rate of evaporation is greater than the rate of precipitation. Oh. Let me know if this helps. A salt flat is also known as a salt pan. It's a large area of land that forms when a large body of water dries up in a desert or arid climate. The salt flats are the result of evaporation from the water, which occurs when the rate of evaporation is greater than the rate of precipitation. Salt flats often have a white shine under the sun. Now, these occur away from Lake Titicaca. At the southern end. Now, very, very important. Within this area, and what is called the Altiplano Puna complex, there are over 50 active volcanoes. So there is that too. Like I said, we have to take this a little bit slow. So the Andes are a massive mountain range. Absolutely massive. The Andes mountain range covers some 5,500 miles. So the Andes Mountains covers about 5,500 miles of South America. And average, some of these peaks that are in the Andes reach an amazing 20,000 feet. Okay? And somewhere up in there is the Altiplano. So we've already talked about it being an elevated landform, or a plateau being an elevated landform. These guys can be 12,000 to 13. Sorry, the Altiplano sits about 12,000 to 13,000 feet above sea level. So it is dryish, deserty area. But they do get rain. Not saying it's totally dry. But the dominant vegetation up on this plateau, you're looking at grasses and shrubs. So there are still places where predators can hide. Still food for herbivores. The wildlife in this area includes such things as vicuna. If you don't know what vicuna is, that is a relative to the llama and the alpaca. Llamas and alpacas also would have lived in this area, or do live in this area. There are gray fox. Believe it or not, there are pumas, Andean hairy armadillos. There's not one, but 3 species of flamingo. There are the Andean flamingo, the Puna flamingo, and the Chilean flamingo, all living in the Altiplano. There's also the lesser rhea, if you don't know what a rhea is. There are 3 or 4 species within this group. The ostrich, the cassowary. Wait. Let's not do cassowary. The emu, the ostrich, and the rhea. And I think there's 2 species of rhea, the greater and the lesser. There's also a giant hummingbird and the Andean condor, plus probably hundreds of other animals. Now, the Altiplano being so high up, it does have temperature swings. So during the day, it can range anywhere from 54. Yeah, exactly. It can range 54 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the winter, depending upon where you're at, it can drop as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 50 degrees. Hold on. .3 to 8.6 inches long. Did you hear me, Carol? It is 21 to 22 centimeters long, or 8.3 to 8.6 inches in length. So it is pretty good sized. Now, if you lived in the Altiplano, and there are people who do, your coldest months are going to be June and July. And depending upon where you live in the Altiplano, you're either going to be semi-arid or arid, with an annual rainfall. And again, this depends upon where you live in the Altiplano. You can have 7 inches of rain a year, or as much as 31 inches. So life in the Altiplano can be interesting. It's not uncommon for you to be warm, during the day and freezing at night. Sort of like a desert. They do have, like I said, there are people living up in the Altiplano. There is a railroad. Do they have mountain goats? You know, I've never heard of goats being in the Andes. Not as far, okay, Carol, as far as I know, they don't have wild goats. Um, as crazy as that sounds, most of your goat populations, your goats are in North America, Europe, and Asia. South America, for some reason, does not have goats. They are replaced mainly by other herbivores. Wait. I'm not understanding. This says in Chile, but it doesn't say there. Um, so I need to probably explain this a little bit. So, goats are really good at one thing. Goats are really good about one thing, and that is eating. And a goat can, and if you have been to the lagoon in Salt Lake City, or it's not Salt Lake City, but it's in Utah. The lagoon, by the way, is an amusement park. And last time I was there, underneath one of their wooden yeah, my brain just went. Underneath one of their wooden roller coasters, they have goats that keep the grass down. And so in Chile, they are using goats to help reduce invasive plant species, weeds, tree limbs, and they actually produce natural fire breaks. So they're not necessarily native wild goats, but I guess you could call them wild goats, but they're not native wild goats. If that makes sense. Now, another issue, if you live in the Altiplano, is, remember we talked about the salts? evaporating, being in the water and then evaporating. There is, yeah, goats aren't in the they don't live in the Andes. They're not a part of the natural fauna. So they're more like farm goats. They're not Rocky Mountain goats or ibex. So sometimes what you will find is when it rains, you get little lakes that form. And the people there, I won't say that they're adapted to life up in this area of the world, but they've adjusted. But one of the things that they have problems with, and it's not, I don't think it's because of people, I think it's naturally occurring. But in places, they actually get arsenic into the water. And if you don't know, arsenic is a no-no. Predecessor, are you there? I'm pretty sure you are, but my crazy thing doesn't know who's in and who's out. Uh-oh. They get arsenic into some of the water. And so they have to be careful with what they have to be careful with the water. Sometimes their drinking water can be poisonous. No. So it's just something they have to watch. Yeah. And I'm sure that they're nowadays it's a matter of just testing. I hate to think of how that happened way back when. Right. I hope. I hope it's a simple matter of just filtering it out. So, if you are ever in the Altiplano, they include the world's largest salt flats. You can visit the Laguna Anyway, it is a lagoon that is filled with flamingos. They also have an area in the Altiplano that is very much like our Yellowstone, that has hot springs and geysers. Of course, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Um, so if you're visiting, it says make sure you visit Lake Titicaca. Um, it is also South America's largest lake and sits on the border with Peru. The people actually create man-made floating islands, I believe. The salt flats, that's another thing to visit. They have if I'm reading it right, they have a nature preserve that was established in 1973 and covers an area more than 7,000 square kilometers. Don't know. I believe there's a train, but I don't know where. So there is a lot to see and do. The Incas were actually in this area. Let's see. Let's see. It is there is a train that connects Chile and Bolivia. What I don't know is if it's a passenger train. It runs from Cusco and Puna. So there are trains. Yeah, so it sounds like there is a train that you can take. I probably would not do it because I don't like heights. I would be like, huh? You want me to what? You can. I don't know. True. True. Very true. If you're trying to make a living in the Altiplano, corn and wheat grows very well. Mining, though, is the big industry there. Just FYI, which probably means that there are chemicals that get thrown around quite a bit. So yeah, there's all kinds of things for you to do. Yeah, I don't know, like if it's a special breed or not breed, but variety. But yeah. It can actually, in some places, the Altiplano can be higher than 13,000. Do they have sharks? No. No. Um, it's too high for sharks. Well, I think she's thinking like the salt water, but no. No. No sharks. What I don't know. I I do know that there are some amphibians. What I don't know is exactly. No, no. So basically, there are fish. I'm not saying that there's not fish. So, ocean, and I'm not sure that this is not going to be exact. So don't hold me to this. But there, and I'm sure there's other land besides mountains. But it would be mountains and then altiplano. Ugh. Now, there's also a cat that I did not know about. So there's the vicuna that we talked about. There's also the guanaco, which is another animal. But some of these animals, wait, this is in general. I don't. No, I want animals of the guinea pigs, seahorses, and Lake Titicaca. Are you asking me? So in 1916 and 1943, there were reports of these freshwater seahorses. However, they introduced trout into the lake, and they may be gone. So they may be there, or they may not be there. And technically they are not seahorses. Technically they are pipe fish. However, pipe fish are related to seahorses. So there is that. And I don't know how they arrived there. I'm assuming one of the things that happens is as the earth does its thing, the plates clash sometimes and force mountains up. So I'm assuming at some point maybe they got trapped and got put up. But that is something I did not know about. I had no idea. I know there is a rare toad or frog that lives in Lake Titicaca. So I do know that. Well, let's see what somebody smarter than me has to say about the pipefish in Lake Titicaca. Um, so I don't know. Lake Titicaca is interesting. Um, so basically, there was a massive earthquake about 25 million years ago. Yeah, they're not big. The pipefish aren't very big. The ones that I saw. So you have the mountains. The earthquake caused the Andes to go up. And it's possible that at one time that area was underwater. And when the earthquake happened, it pushed the land up. The interesting thing is that sometimes the water in Lake Titicaca dries up. So the animals that live there have to be adapted. Yeah. They're so Lake Titicaca does not have, in no way, shape, or form is there a way for the ocean to connect with Lake Titicaca. And they wouldn't be able to. These animals are really weak swimmers. They would not make it up that elevation climb up the river. There is a river that hooks up to Lake Titicaca, but it flows out, not in. There are 5 rivers and many streams that feed into the lake. 90% of the fish that live in the lake are found no other place. Well, the trout, I believe, were introduced. from what I've read. Wow. I'm impressed. Whoa, 3 likes. Thank you, guys. Not a lot of attendance in this one. Makes me a little sad, but that's okay. If you haven't seen the new video, they are being switched up a little bit. Muy poquito, little bit. Yeah. Tomorrow's live, we are doing at 6 o'clock. Mine shows 0. No, now it says 2. I need to charge my Chromebook. Yeah, now it's back to 1. I think, yeah, I don't know what to think about it. So, it'll look like tomorrow is Zoo to Do, Brookfield Zoo. And then Tuesday is North American Porcupine. Friday is a look at the next Friday is a look at the rainforest floor. Although, I don't know, I might switch that up. I don't know. Oh, sorry. And then the 31st, we are doing, so the next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, we are doing Learn to Care Asiatic Lion. And that takes us into September. The rainforest floor one, it depends on how much I can piece together. By the way, right now, only Carol gets to see my scripts for the lives. And I don't know if Carol did her homework like she was supposed to. But today's live wasn't even a full page. So it was very, very short. And predecessor, I will get around to taking care of you with that stuff that we talked about. The better question, I did. The better question, predecessor, is do you have Roku? Or a smart TV? Okay. I am working on getting pictures done. I should have those colored sometime tomorrow. So there may be gaps with the videos again. There's got to be a way I can work around that. Is there anything else? Hello? Hello, people? I can't see you, but hello? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now it says 4. I think I need to shave. I'm changing the way that I do something on the videos. So there's going to be a break in the videos from now on. And it's basically going to be a plea for me to subscribe and comment and all that fun stuff. And then it pops back into the video. So you'll get it at the beginning, in the middle, and then at the end, I think. I need ideas for the second channel. I want to start doing a second video. And I don't know. My thought was to combine the shorts into a longer video, just spilling out the facts and reworking it so that it actually makes sense. That was a thought. Or just doing a longer video, like a fast facts thing. Because I need to do something else to draw people. I would rather do something different. But I don't know what that looks like. And there's definitely subscribers. I don't want to do a top 10 because that would be a short. It needs to be at least 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 4. I'd like it to tie in with either the lives or the animal for that week. And I like the idea of combining the shorts. I just have to find a way to combine them. And then the research board is already done. It's just a matter of compiling it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do, predecessor. And then pick a day, to post it. Because they get one on Wednesday. I don't want to do another live. Yeah, but I'm not the only one that does it. Oh, shoot. It's been so long since I've done Instagram that I completely forgot to do those. Ay, ay, ay. You guys, do you ladies watch the shorts on the second channel? Sorry. Is it still there? Because I don't see the reflection. Oh, yeah. If if I'm at the wrong angle, yeah. Um, I'm thinking of going live again like I did this week. Was it this week I went live at my brother's house? I think so. I'm also thinking of doing that, but I might switch it up and do the other channel. Doing it at least once a week. Just a short little hello during the week. Yeah, I don't know. And predecessor, I have not forgotten what we talked about. I need to get that set up. Maybe I'll do that tonight, if that's okay with you. Well, I don't want to do an ad for the channel, but I might get a different audience, and it might be more of a time to talk about the lives that are coming up. I know, but I don't want I want you relaxed, because I feel like Carol was sort of thrown into it. Yeah. I would rather you have a chance to, I don't want to say play around, because playing around with some of what you can do can be scary. Um, she is. I have to admit, I picked well. My problem is, and I was talking about this with Carol, is who do I pick? Who do I pick? I was in a live last week. There were 200 people in the live. Now, not everybody was chatting, but it was crazy. And it helps, it really helps that Carol knows me. And I can call her. I know her in real life, so it's not an issue for me to call her. Yeah. So Carol only gets you are able to read the scripts beforehand so that you know sort of what I'm going to be talking about. Oh, well, I don't even want to call it a job because unfortunately I don't think you get paid. And until I start making money, that's what I'm really trying to accomplish. Yeah, you get a sneak peek. But there's a bunch of stuff put out by YouTube that will help you out also. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that as moderators that you have to be aware of. You have a list of all the upcoming lives. I don't think you have a list of upcoming videos. Yeah. You can see them, but I don't think you can make changes, right? I think you can just see. And I don't know if that ruins some of the fun, being able to see what's coming up. But as people ask questions, and as we go through it, stuff gets added in. So you don't always know if I'm going to follow the script 100% or if I'm going to add to it. So tonight was a little bit of improv. I feel like I do a little bit of that every night that we go live. And tonight was an easy night. But you've seen it get, you've both seen it get really bad. On both ends. I told Carol I don't want it getting to the point where you feel like, where somebody feels like they have to leave because of somebody else. I was telling Carol I did get a comment. Well, all you have to go look at when you're done with this, go look at the video on the hyssop what is the name of it? Hold up, I can tell you in a heartbeat. So that I don't have to drop names. Because I don't want to. Pollinators on Hyssop 2024. Yeah. Look at that, and you'll understand why Carol and predecessor, why I was a little bit worried about tonight. And maybe that's the third person. I don't know. But it will make sense. There will be videos posted tomorrow, as well as I have to do shorts. So I'm going to be busy tomorrow. Busy. I wish I actually I need to go because we are an hour and 18 minutes into this live and I still need to talk to Carol. So yeah. I will talk to you guys later. Remember to never give up on yourself and always keep learning. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.